Everybody loves a good value, right? Well, the Aspen model at the community of Terraza in Santan Valley definitely qualifies. And this isn't like when you're promised a free breakfast at a hotel only to head down to the lobby and find this.
Excuse me, could I get another bagel?
We're out of bagels, Your Majesty.
This home actually is a good deal. It's 2,641 square feet, can be 4 or 5 bedrooms, and the starting price is only $528,000. I've toured dozens of homes with clients in the last few months that were smaller and at least $100,000 more expensive. So this is one that you should see. In this video, I'm going to walk you through each room, point out the upgrades in the model versus what comes standard, and give you some insight on what I like and what I don't. So let's head inside.
Okay, so here is the exterior of the Aspen. This is the farmhouse elevation. So this one costs a little extra, of course, because it's an upgrade. Another thing that this does, this area here where there is a covering, let me walk under it so you can see a little better. This is extended out. Normally that covered area would end right about where that planter box is, or just a little bit this side. This farmhouse elevation extends it out so that you have a little bit more covering on the exterior here, which is kind of nice if you want to have a bench or something right there to sit on. It makes that a little bit more pleasant because you're gonna have more shade. So here we are, the Aspen, 2,621 square feet. This is actually my first time seeing this in person too, so let's check it out together. So the entryway, come right into the hallway here that extends back that direction. But nice and wide right as you step in. It's not a long, narrow hallway. They've put some decorative shiplap up on the ceiling there. That does not come with it. That is a custom feature that the builder won't even do. Nice tile flooring, again, another upgrade. Same with the baseboards. That is not what comes with this. Along with this smooth drywall finish, what they often call Santa Fe style, is also a slight upgrade along with the paint. Usually the paint is a flat white. Makes more sense to do that after you close versus having the builder upgrade it. So right here we have our first bedroom. So this is where we can see those windows right off the front. This is what you get here. This is a good size. Nice tall ceilings. These are 10 feet. Does not come with the ceiling fan. Comes with a pre-wire for it, and then you can pick your own ceiling fan. Put a good amount of space in here into the standard size closet. Once again, the carpet, this is a pretty fancy carpet, definitely an upgrade. Again, something that tile, flooring, and carpet are something that I often like upgrading after you close. So I know that's not feasible for everyone, but you can usually save some money if you do that. But it's a nice big room. And across the hall here we have a powder room. So we've got this quartzy kind of countertop. Again, that's an upgrade over what comes with it, which is cultured marble. And the frame mirror and the light fixture are an upgrade as well, along with this kind of cool, I like that design. That tile floor is kind of cool. Then we have this shower. Again, it's tiled. Anytime you see tile in a shower, that's an upgrade. Another one that's often worth waiting till after you close to fix. Normally this is going to be a cultured marble wrap that goes around there. But it looks great if you do the tile. Just cheaper to sometimes do it on your own if you have the ability. If you need to finance it into the mortgage, then you're gonna have to do it through the builder. And then through here we have the laundry area with the media cabinet. So this is where your modem will go for your internet, as well as any cables for speaker wires, things like that you might run through the house. Cabinets above, washer dryer below, and the sink. So not a huge space in here, but a laundry room. Don't really need a ton of space, I wouldn't imagine. And your attic access is right there to get to your air handler unit, which basically runs your heating and cooling for the whole house. And then through here we have a study. So the built-ins are, again, a custom feature that the builder will not do. They just did this to kind of show you what's possible. Same thing with the plantation shutters. Anytime you have a new build home, you're going to be responsible for putting in all the window coverings. So they put plantation shutters in, which you can do through the builder, but you definitely want to price that one out too, because pretty much everybody does it after they close. But this is a good sized room. I would say it's probably about, we'll say 10 or 12 feet deep by roughly 10, maybe 11 feet wide. So Perfect for a little office or a workout area. But look at the great room, nice and open. Very cool. So for a home priced from the mid 500s, this really does feel pretty high end considering that price point. So over here, we've got cabinets that have been upgraded. Not super fancy though. These aren't like even, I would say, level 5 or above cabinets, which is what you often see in the models. These are pretty, they're not the standard ones, but they're not a huge step up either. Same with the countertops. These are definitely nice, but they're not like a super duper pricey upgrade. The backsplash is not something that comes with it, nor is the under cabinet lighting. That would all have to be added later. And the cabinets, my guess is these units here are standard. The stacked unit up to the ceiling is an extra. So that is not quite what you get out of the box, but it looks good. And if you have extra storage needs, that would work perfectly. But a nice big island with a breakfast bar. So another upgrade we've done in here is this cooktop here. This is what a lot of times they will call the gourmet kitchen. Normally you have the slide-in range, which is the range oven combo that would go right here. And then when you do that, this over here is actually exactly like it is now, the oven with the microwave. So with this particular model, when you do that option online, and it's interesting they didn't do it in the model, it converts this to a double oven and puts your microwave over here. So I'm not sure why they didn't do it in the model here, but that's what happens when you play with the floor plan online. But in this case, they have the GE Cafe oven and the microwave. Cafe's kind of GE's second from the top line of appliances. The monogram is the fanciest. So not the fanciest one they offer, but not the cheapest either. But a very good sized pantry for a little corner unit like that. Way bigger than a lot of these I see, way bigger than the one I have at home. And we have the two-tone cabinets, so we have the darker finish on the island here with the dishwasher, the farmhouse sink, and the gold faucet versus the matte black on all the rest of the hardware, which looks kind of cool. And then it's got the hood vent that goes up to the top. So, looks good. Nice, well-appointed kitchen. I love the mixture of drawers versus cabinets. That's nice versus being kind of all of one or the other. You get good storage that way, and very open to the living area here. And of course we have our dining nook on this side, which is really big. So they've got that little buffet thing there with the mirror. The light fixture, of course, doesn't come with it, but it fits a really nice big table and does not feel squeezed at all. Plenty of room in here. This is a upgraded slider. This does come with a slider over here, but it doesn't come with this fancy stackable one like that. So if all you care about is having a slider, you can actually just keep the base and not upgrade to this thing. But this thing is kind of cool. So it will open up like so and stack all the way down there. It gives you a nice big opening, which, if you want the indoor-outdoor living experience, it's kind of nice for that. So here is our covered patio. We've got about 10 feet going this direction, and probably, we'll call it maybe 15 going that way. So it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's got a good amount of space. You can see they have the table there. This will not come with a view fence into your neighbor's yard. Don't worry, it's going to be like that, not that. So they do this. It's a little trick to make the lots look bigger. Every builder does it, and everyone's confused by it. I wish they wouldn't do it, but alas. Same thing in the backyard. It is landscaped. However, when you get it, it will not be. This will be a huge piece of dirt to make whatever you want it to be. So, but the nice thing about this series, the Solstice collection here at Terraza, these are bigger lots. They're close to 9,000 square feet, And with a 2,600 square foot home like this feels pretty big. For a backyard on a single level, this thing feels rather large. So you could put a really, really fancy pool back here or whatever you wanted to do with it. The choice is yours. And you can see down here, we have plenty of space between the house and the wall. It comes with a tankless water heater. I don't know if you can quite make it out way down there, but that's always a nice feature. And then got a little hose bib on the back there. And looks like they are going to include a gas stub for a barbecue or whatever you want to use it for, maybe a fire pit. Lots of options. And then again, the ceiling fan is extra. They will include a pre-wire up there. The speakers do not come with it either. Those are added features. This is a really nice slider. It closes super easy. Sometimes these things are a bear to get closed, so that's definitely nice. Another option, this is actually the standard finish with the windows here. You do have the option to put another stackable slider like that, and then it has a little post here in the corner so that you can open it up all the way that way, all the way that way, and really let some air in if you wanted to do it that way. And again, the shiplap and all the fancy stuff on the wall is a custom feature the builder does not offer. Okay, so before I walk off and forget, let's check out the master. So a nice big room here. This home does give you the option to add a 2-foot extension that direction on, and that will extend not only the bedroom here, it also extends your dining room wall out that way 2 feet, along with the patio 2 feet. I don't know if this one has that or not. It doesn't look like it does. But that is an option if you wanted even more room than what you have in here. But man, this feels plenty big even without it. Very, very nice. Great big space. Love the windows. This is a king bed with, again, plenty of room for some big nightstands on each side. That's great. Okay, so question I always get, why is there no door that goes over here? That's just kind of how they do it in Arizona. You can put a barn door or something on this afterwards, but this is how it comes. The tile, of course, is an upgrade, as is the matte black hardware. It's going to come with kind of cheap chrome stuff. Here's where the toilet goes. It does come with a door. These little hinges here are meant to show you that there will be a door, but they don't put one up because it makes the room look bigger. Another little builder trick. Here is your linen closet. And the vanity's a little squished, so this is one I would put on the do not like list. This is pretty small. I mean, it works and it's a double vanity, which I like, but I mean, you're definitely kind of crammed in here. So I wish they would have given you a little more storage, especially because this is almost kind of like dead space here. I get that that's probably the closet. We'll find out in a second, but I really love the way they designed that. And the mirrors and that fancy light fixture are also upgraded, as is this. So we've got the super shower. So that is this great big thing, which I love. So it's got this kind of dry off area here. You walk in, you've got your controls there, and the nice fancy tile work, the head there along with the rain head above. Like that they put windows in. Sometimes they don't. This feels kind of like a cavern and you get kind of claustrophobic. So the tile work looks great. This is really pretty the way they did it. This, of course, is an upgrade. Normally, it's just going to be a little shower kind of in the corner, and this is actually open space here, or you can add a drop-in tub if you wanted to. So you got 3 choices on the way you can configure that. And here is the closet. So a good size, plenty of space for hangers and going all the way around. And that actually, so we were wondering about this space right here. This must belong to the pantry or something in the kitchen. But again, it just kind of squeezes this vanity. That's my one dislike that I've come up with so far on this particular model. But that's not too bad. Okay, let's head this way. So over here, we have another bedroom. So not too big, but it's not tiny either. Window's a little small. There's another dislike. I'd like either another window over here or make that one bigger. This just feels a little too small. I feel like they could have done better with that. But again, we have nice tall ceilings. You got room to hang your little guitar there. Normal size closet, but good sized bedroom. That's probably a full mattress, and they do have a nightstand on each side. So perfect for a guest room, a kid's room, whatever you choose. And more plantation shutters here. So this is what they're calling the game room. So it's kind of almost like that study, but it's just another open space that you can use for whatever you want. It's a good size, plenty of room for this pretty big sectional couch and a TV. So that's kind of the idea. It gives your family space. If you have kids that want their own room or like a playroom, something like that, this is perfect. However, what if you don't want this particular space, given that you have that study right up the hall? Well, if you take a look at the floor plan, you can see this is, again, the game room. But if you click this button here, you can see that it changes over to a 5th bedroom, which puts a wall up going down the hall. So as we switch back here, the wall would extend up right here and the door would be on this wall right here. And then this can turn from a 4-bedroom into a 5. And if you don't need this particular space for the game room, that is an option that you've got. So here we have the full bath for this end of the house. Again, we've got the nice tile carried throughout most of the home. We have the upgraded vanity. So again, that's not what comes with it. The same upgraded countertops, the frame mirror, the light fixture. Looks really good, but remember, this is all quite a bit more money. So to finish the house like this, you'd be looking at probably over $100,000, probably about $150,000 in upgrades, and this is just my guess in terms of what the builder did. Doesn't mean you have to do that, but some people want it to look like the model. And here is our linen closet. Looking good. Again, it does come with a door, not some weird half hinges. And then our final bedroom here at the front of the house. This one is definitely the biggest of the secondary bedrooms. So got a couple of robes hanging here. Maybe they're saying this, implying that this is a guest suite. So number one, like that the window is bigger. And again, much bigger going across this way. I'd say that's at least probably 15 feet and maybe bigger. So by far the biggest of the bedrooms on this side. Once again, about a full-size mattress. I don't think that's a queen, but not super wide, but the depth is really nice. So you'd fit just about anything in here that you needed to. And again, I love all the light coming in from that window. But that is going to conclude our tour of the interior of the Aspen. Again, I think that this is a really nice home and a good layout and a good value for starting in the low 500s. I know it seems kind of silly saying that that's a good value, but with the cost of housing in the Phoenix Metro, that is just kind of the reality that we were looking at. And this is a good option in that price point.
Now, if you need even more space, there are some larger homes, including the gorgeous Sycamore model right next door to this one. I have video walkthroughs of the 3 other models in this community, along with tours from a ton of other communities in my model home walkthrough library, which you can get access to by joining my email list, and you'll find the link to do that in the description below this video. But even if you love the models, you also want to know what the actual community is going to be like and whether or not the area will fit your needs. So you should watch this video next, where I'll give you a full tour of the community of Terraza and give you some insights on living in Santan Valley versus Queen Creek.